You aren't just working a job, you are servicing a debt you didn't know you signed for. Every hour you trade for a stagnant salary is a compounding deficit as inflation aggressively eats your future. It is time to stop selling your life away and start engineering systems that scale. Most people think debt means credit cards, loans, mortgages, student payments. But in 2026, there is another kind of debt almost nobody talks about. Time debt. The invisible contract where you slowly exchange your best years for income that loses value faster every year. You wake up early, commute through traffic, work under pressure, wait for weekends, repeat the cycle. And somehow, despite working constantly, financial freedom still feels far away. Because the system was never designed to make you free. It was designed to keep you functional. Meanwhile, a completely different economy is emerging online. An economy where creators, operators, AI builders, and digital entrepreneurs are scaling income faster than traditional jobs ever allowed. And the dangerous part is this: the longer you stay trapped in outdated financial systems, the more expensive freedom becomes. In this video, we are going to break down why the modern 9-to-5 has quietly become a financial trap, how inflation is turning stable jobs into slow-moving liabilities, why AI is changing income forever, and how to build a parallel income system before the next economic shift accelerates. Because in the modern economy, security without ownership is temporary. The inflationary treadmill illusion. For decades, people believed a stable corporate job was the safest path in life. Work hard, stay loyal, get promoted, retire comfortably. But the economic reality of 2026 looks very different. The cost of living has disconnected from salary growth. Housing costs rise aggressively. Food prices rise aggressively. Transportation costs rise aggressively. Healthcare keeps getting more expensive, yet most salaries barely move fast enough to keep up. This creates what I call the inflation treadmill. No matter how hard you work, you stay in the same place financially. And sometimes you actually move backwards. Because modern inflation does not just affect luxury lifestyles. It attacks survival expenses. Rent, utilities, insurance, fuel, groceries. Everything becomes heavier while salaries remain controlled. And then comes lifestyle inflation, one of the most dangerous psychological traps in modern society. The moment your income increases, your expenses expand to match it. Better apartment, better phone, more subscriptions, more dining out, more social pressure. People are no longer spending to survive, they are spending to maintain identity. And corporations understand this perfectly. Because the more dependent you become on expensive routines, the harder it becomes to leave your job. That is why many people earning higher salaries still feel financially trapped. Their lifestyle owns them. But the most undervalued part of this entire equation is time. Your employer is effectively renting the best hours of your life at a fixed rate, while inflation continuously reduces the value of that exchange. Think about that carefully. Your energy is limited. Your attention is limited. Your lifespan is limited. But most people trade these finite resources for salaries designed around stability, not freedom. And this becomes extremely dangerous in fast-changing economies. Because fixed income struggles in environments where everything else compounds faster. The opportunity cost of managed security. Now here is where the real hidden loss begins. Most employees only calculate the money they earn. Very few calculate the opportunities they miss. And in 2026, the opportunity cost of staying financially passive has exploded. Because while millions of people spend years waiting for small raises, others are building scalable digital systems online. AI tools, content brands, automation agencies, digital education, creator businesses, audience-driven products, and global service systems. This is the first time in history where one person with internet access and AI tools can build leverage at massive scale, and the gap between builders and passive earners is growing rapidly. The creator economy is no longer just influencers making entertainment content. It has evolved into a modern ownership economy. People are monetizing knowledge, attention, systems, automation, distribution, and digital assets. Meanwhile, traditional corporate structures still reward linear effort. More hours, more meetings, more approvals, more bureaucracy. But digital systems scale differently. One piece of content can reach millions. One automated workflow can generate income repeatedly. One audience can create opportunities for years. That is why personal brand equity is becoming more valuable than traditional resumes. A resume depends on permission. A personal brand creates leverage. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Relying on a single income source in a volatile economy may actually be one of the riskiest financial positions possible. Because if your salary disappears, your entire system collapses. No leverage, no distribution, no ownership, no independent cash flow. That is not security. That is dependence disguised as stability. Breaking the cycle of reactive consumption. Now let's talk about one of the biggest reasons people stay financially trapped. Reactive consumption. Most people use their salary to recover from the stress caused by the job itself. They hate the work, so they buy distractions. Weekend escapes. Impulse purchases. Streaming subscriptions. Food delivery, shopping dopamine. Temporary comfort. And companies profit from this cycle endlessly. The job creates exhaustion. The exhaustion creates consumption. The consumption creates dependency. And dependency forces people back into the same cycle. This is why financial freedom is not only about earning more money, it is about reclaiming control over your energy. And the first step is awareness. Audit everything: subscriptions, recurring expenses, impulse spending, lifestyle obligations, status purchases. Most people are shocked when they realize how much money disappears into unconscious consumption every month. Now imagine redirecting that money into a transition fund instead. A fund designed for freedom, not luxury, not entertainment, not image. Freedom. Because the goal is not escaping reality temporarily. The goal is building a life you no longer need to escape from. And this requires a mindset shift. Consumers ask, what can I buy? Investors ask, what can I build? Consumers spend energy reacting. Investors spend energy compounding. That single mental shift changes everything over time. Building your parallel income infrastructure. Now here is where things become practical. Because escaping the 9-to-5 trap does not require reckless decisions. It requires strategic parallel building. The smartest people do not quit immediately. They build systems quietly while still employed. This is where AI becomes powerful. In 2026, automation tools allow individuals to create leverage faster than ever before. You can automate content production, research, editing, marketing, customer systems, lead generation, scheduling, sales funnels, and audience growth, meaning one person can now operate like a small digital company. This completely changes the speed of income creation. And the key is focusing on high leverage skills. Not generic skills everyone already has. The global market rewards attention, communication, distribution, storytelling, sales psychology, AI system management, content creation, automation building, and problem solving. These are scalable skills. Corporate environments often underestimate them because traditional systems reward compliance over leverage. But online markets reward outcomes. And eventually, you need to calculate something called your freedom number. This is the monthly amount your side systems must generate before your salary becomes optional. Not luxury income. Survival replacement income. Because once your side equity consistently covers your essential expenses, your dependence on employment weakens dramatically. And that changes your entire psychology. You stop operating from fear. You begin operating from choice. The exit strategy and long-term sovereignty. Now eventually, there comes a transition point. The moment where your systems become stronger than your salary. This is where most people make emotional mistakes. Some quit too early. Others stay trapped too long. The ideal transition is strategic. Step 1. Stabilize your emergency reserves. Step 2. Build consistent side income for several months. Step 3. Reduce unnecessary financial obligations. Step 4. Expand network relationships outside your company environment. Step 5. Gradually shift your identity from employee to operator. Because freedom is not just financial, it is psychological. Most people were conditioned their entire lives to believe security comes from permission. Permission to earn, permission to succeed, permission to live comfortably. But independent operators think differently. They focus on ownership, distribution, adaptability, and community. And community matters more than ever. One of the biggest mistakes new entrepreneurs make is trying to build everything alone. In the modern economy, relationships create acceleration. One collaboration can change your business. One connection can create opportunity. One network can multiply growth dramatically. And the final shift is mental sovereignty. The ability to stop reacting to systems and start designing your own. Because true freedom is not about escaping work completely. It is about choosing meaningful work aligned with your own future. That is the difference between surviving and actually living. The modern 9-to-5 system is not automatically evil. But for millions of people, it has quietly become a financial treadmill that consumes time faster than it creates freedom. And in an inflation-driven, AI-powered economy, linear income alone is becoming increasingly fragile. The people who thrive over the next decade will likely be the ones who build ownership alongside income. Not someday. Now. Because every year you delay building leverage, the harder independence becomes. So ask yourself honestly, are you building a future? Or simply renting survival one paycheck at a time? If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Wealth Sketch for more content on AI, modern wealth systems, financial freedom, digital leverage, and future-proof income strategies. And remember, the moment you stop selling all your time is the moment you start reclaiming your future. Permanent financial and temporal autonomy.